Why it'll let you do that? That's crazy. I didn't know they'd do that. It's probably the rain, y'all. Raspberry jam and peanut butter with rye. It was delicious. And this phone's not even working. Now my computer's not working. What the hell? I can't go through this every day. It might be because of the rain, but yeah. I'm trying to go to my page. Got multiple live streams going. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And if it's showing up on my feed. That's crazy. So I don't see both of them. It says that one's already stopped. When I go to click on it, it won't even let me click on it. These are the glitches I be talking about. So I go to click on it, it won't let me click on it at all to open it. Either one of them. That's weird. Well, I guess it doesn't work, or either my service doesn't. All right, I don't know which one to get off of. I guess I'm going to switch over. All right, well, I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to switch over to this one to see if it'll work, because I know that one doesn't work. So, sorry, y'all. I'll get it figured out one day. I'm on Wi-Fi. Sure am. Bye. Love ya. Lord, this is crazy. Hello, Nana. Oh, you could see both of them? It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand. You either got to have like the best damn Wi-Fi in the world from like, I don't know. I don't understand. My phones never work. They never work. It doesn't matter where I am either. Unless I'm in Jacksonville. That's the only place they ever worked was Jacksonville, Florida. That's the main reason that I was always out there filming, because I could count on having service. And I got Verizon and Boost Mobile. Anyways, I didn't get a rug. Sure didn't. I got to going through the aisles and was looking at the prices, and I was like, I got a rug at home. It doesn't cover everything, but it's fun. It'll be fun. I ain't even worried about it. I need the case for this before I break it, because I broke the other one, remember? Yo, I have so much I was supposed to do today, and I'm not doing anything. And tell me why I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and now I'm thinking about going and making a rotisserie chicken sandwich. Ooh, what if I pull it off the bone and toast the bread, and then put like 2 different types of mustard on there, and then I use like a horseradish mustard, and then I use like just a regular Heinz mustard, love that mustard, and toast it with rotisserie chicken and pepper jack cheese with like spinach. I got vegetables I can put on there. I don't know what I could even put some hummus on there. It's really good with the rotisserie chicken. I need to eat that hummus. I got it like a week ago. I scoop it out. I'll take that hummus, and it usually lasts 2 or 3. Y'all see when I make my salad bowls, I just take a scoop of the hummus and put it on top. Do not buy this from Walmart. It's trash. I don't like it. Yeah, well, that one I think is working better. How are you doing, Brett's Nana? You know, it's crazy to me how the slightest little rainstorm literally loses power around here. Like, not only power, but like service completely. It can leave you stranded. Don't get lost in a snowstorm or a thunderstorm out here. It might take them a while to get to you. Like, seriously, because you don't have cell service, so you can't call for help. You're just going to have to wait for somebody to rescue you. If you go off an embankment here or off the mountain or drive through the woods and, something like that, get stuck in the snow, you're just going to have to wait for somebody to come and get you more often than not because you can't even call for help. Good morning. Hey, Marilyn. I can't say that other name, but hello. Hello. Yeah. Rotisserie chicken sandwich. That's what I'm thinking. I've got to bulk up, so yeah. And I think that we're getting there, definitely. I definitely need to have some protein too. Protein, a sandwich, or maybe some yogurt. Yeah, I'm definitely hungry. I threw that sewing machine out there because it had mold on it. There was a sewing machine in here, and it had mold on it. And I threw it out there, and now I can't even, like, get it off the ground. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's, like, stuck out there getting rained on. It's not good. I'm also not putting my bicycle in here. I'm not dirtying it up in here. Like, I find somewhere else to put my bicycle. It's not enough room in here for a bike, Not enough room at all for a bicycle. I'm glad I got this done. And I need to tarp that up there. Well, I got to cut out wood and then epoxy it and seal it, caulk it, and do all of that. And I'm not doing that today. Sure ain't. I'm eating. I'm focusing on myself today. Matter of fact, where's my magnesium? Give me a minute. I'm being a lazy bum today. Watch me. All day. I might watch some movies. I might bake a cake. I bought some cake mix with sugar-free. I'm going to eat the whole cake. Well, not all at once because then I'll end up in the ER. But because it's sugar-free. It's made with sugar alcohols. Tread easy, grasshopper. Tread lightly. I do love that chocolate cake mix from Pillsbury. It's so good, y'all. And it's sugar-free. But be careful because it's made with sugar alcohol and it'll upset your stomach. But I got the sugar-free ice and vanilla this time and chocolate fudge cake. I'm excited. So I might bake a cake, watch some movies. Like, I haven't been able to, like, literally... when I was sleeping in my truck, like, when I had my mattress in my truck, I still couldn't... Like, I could lay out straight, but I had to kind of lay at an angle, and I always was kind of contorting my body in a certain way because of the boxes that were underneath me. And so I really haven't had a good night's rest in about 2.5 years. Last night when I laid in my bed and I laid down, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, Jesus Christ, I haven't felt this in 2.5 years. Even when my mattress was in my truck, I wasn't getting good rest. I really need to prioritize sleep. I have so much stress on me that I cannot sleep. Like, and I know I'm not the only person like that, but this is almost to the extreme to where I go into bouts of mania because none of my basic needs are being met, right? I need to prioritize sleep. So since I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm going to take a magnesium. I'm going to lay this one out to remember to take later after I eat. Hey, Davis. Good afternoon. Oh, I'm choking. I'm on spit, not the pill. Yeah, I need to focus on sleeping and, yeah. Eating. It's crazy because I was overweight and I lost like over 80 pounds within like a year. It was mainly because I had started to try to lose weight and I lost a significant amount, probably 30, 40 pounds. And then I started a YouTube channel. And then I moved about a few weeks, maybe 6 weeks to 2 months after I started my YouTube channel. I moved into my truck. Well, and actually I probably lost more weight than that. Anyways, I lost all this weight. right? But really quickly, and I couldn't afford food, and I was also homeless for like the first time living out of a car. And so that changes the landscape of how you have to operate and plan things and do things. And so I was trying to navigate through all of that. And even though I would go to the gym, I wasn't gaining any muscle, and it was because I'm not eating enough food, but I didn't realize that at the time. Um, it's crazy because if I would have been eating enough food and meeting my protein intake, I would probably have 20 pounds of extra muscle on me from the 2.5 years of progressive overload and eating like I was supposed to be eating. More often than not, I've been in a deficit because of financial insecurity, because of my lifestyle. I'm just an active person. I get stuff done. So, more often than not, I'm in a deficit because I'm just a busybody. I've got to focus on eating so that I can actually gain some weight, you know. But I would be so much farther in my progress if I would have been meeting that food intake like I was supposed to, the protein, the macros, all of that. But I really haven't had that over the past 2.5 years, so I haven't seen the gains like you would typically see. It kind of sucks, but I mean, I've definitely made gains, but being homeless and not being able to afford food is definitely, or all my money going towards my truck payment and gas has definitely cut in some food, and that's crazy. And I think a lot of Americans are cutting back in the grocery store on, at the very least, certain items, but also they're not. Yeah, they're cutting back on certain items, you know, luxury things, expensive cheeses, beer, wine, spirits. People ain't drinking like they used to either. Even I saw a report the other day, even millennials are cutting back on alcohol. There's been a significant drop in the past, I think like 9 months, in alcohol sales and consumption. You know why? Because people ain't got no extra money to buy no damn beer. They ain't 50 cent no more. They ain't 50 cent no more. Davis, thank you so much. Beer ain't 50 cent no more. You used to be able to get $1 beer in the bar. I think it was $2.50 when I started serving beer. Self-care is the best care. Amen, Kayla. Thank you so much, Davis. Yeah, I need to focus on self-care and like eating today. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do that. I always talk in third person, and now that I'm here, people are going to think like we. No. Speaking of which, that's why I didn't get a rug. You know, I didn't even get the weather strip. Got all the way to the Lowe's parking lot, and you know, at that point, I'm just like, take me to get food. And here, I just, you know, you got to distance yourself from people. You really do. I need to. There's nothing out here, you know. And here's the thing: even if I was in the city, like living in the city and having resources can sometimes be more dangerous than living somewhere without resources. When people are trying to kill you, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't want to be in no city. I don't want to be nowhere near them city people. I don't want to be anywhere where there's a bunch of people. I don't want to be around people. It's as simple as that. But there's nothing out here. But I had to go to the grocery store, so I got groceries, but I didn't get nothing else. And then I looked at the rug prices, and I was like, I already got a rug. I spent $12 on this rug at the Dollar General. It'll have to do for now. And I threw it. I came in and I threw it over the paint spot. My phone is glitching. Come back. Oh, there we go. What is going on? Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I was thinking though, y'all ever heard of that woman? Oh, let me tell you about this woman. Oh my gosh, she's a badass. First of all, listen, I know that I talk about things and like, you know, sometimes I know about things. Some of it I know because I've been interested since I was a kid, and then other things I've learned along the way. You would think, wouldn't you think that since the 1950s, wouldn't you think since the 1950s that they have become more focused on arresting people for sex crimes such as rape, incest, molestation, stuff like that? Wouldn't you think that in the past 50, 60, 70 years that those things have gotten better because of the fact, wouldn't you think that? Because I did. I thought that over time, this behavior had gotten better. And then I ran across this woman who is freaking phenomenal. And she spent her entire career fighting men in the FBI. Well, she worked with the FBI. They actually hit her up in the 1960s. And they was like, hey, girl, we know you know your stuff. Can you come over here and teach all these men everything you know? And, 1960s, 1970s, that's when women kind of were first going to work. Not really, but you know what I mean? Like, it was an empowering time for women, right? So, hold on, let me find her name. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? She was so she worked with a lot of children, and she would go in and do interviews with children who had either been victim of crimes. So, for instance, there was this one case of two little girls, I do believe in Texas. They were going down this backcountry road. They were bicycling, and this man pulls up in like a Ford Pinto, and he snatches one girl off the bicycle. He tosses her in the back seat of the car, and the little girl's in the back, and she's looking to try to open the car door handle. You know them old-timey cars that you had to like pull up on the handle sometimes. He done removed the inside handles of the car door, right? So this child cannot get out. At the same time that she's trying to get out, he snatches her friend, and at the same time she is able to jump out of the window and run away, but her friend was kidnapped, and 7 days later they would find that child's body in a wooded area under a rock. You heard me right. Under a rock. So they would catch this asshole, but before they caught him, in the first, like, let's say 24 to 48 hours, they were trying to interview the little girl that had witnessed this, the first child that had been yoked off her bicycle. It's crazy because this child was like 6 or 7. There's an interview of this, and I'm going to find this woman's name. She does phenomenal work with children and pedophiles, perverts of all kinds. She's worked with any kind of... She is the reason that we have laws to protect women from rape. If it was not for this woman that I'm going to tell you about, if it was not for her, we wouldn't even be where we are. And we have leaps and bounds to go on this stuff. So the little girl was she'd been so traumatized by being... think about, that's your best friend. And apparently these little girls were on the way to get lunch. And the little girl was mute from the trauma. She refused to speak, but they needed to interrogate this child to get any kind of identifying factors about the car or the man that had taken her friend. So they pull this child in for interviewing. I use that lightly because they would do it completely different than they would an adult, of course. But the little girl won't speak. So they call up this lady, and they're like, does anybody figure her name out yet? Ann Burgess. Yes. Thank you so much, Kelly in Texas. Girl. So why did I not know who this was? So they call up Ann Burgess, and they're like, hey, girl, we need you to fly out here. We have a child. We have another missing child that was... both of these girls were almost kidnapped. One of them was taken. One of them escaped. She's now mute and is refusing to talk. And it's not like she's refusing to talk. She's scared. She's scared. And it's so crazy because when Anne made it there to interview this child, one of the first things out of this child's mouth is that she was scared that the kidnapper was still standing behind her. I got chills. That baby was scared to speak because she was scared more harm was going to come to her, that he was going to come back. Not only that, when she finally started to open up to Anne, she said that she didn't want to eat. They kept trying to get her to eat, and she said, no, I'm waiting on my friend Melissa. Melissa was the name. She said, no, I'm not eating until we find Melissa. So this is what Anne did every day for work. Anne dealt with children. Most of these cases obviously were criminal because it was dealing with, kidnappings, trafficking. She dealt with a lot of children, and she was really good at it. And the FBI for over 30 years used her. She is brilliant. So, girl, that it's only because of her that we are even where we're at. Do you know in the 1970s, she had to work for the FBI. They actually called her and was like, hey, can you come down here and help us? Because we don't know what's going on. And this was, so let me get her up. Hold on. Because she is really an amazing woman. And I really thought that, like, it's crazy, you guys. What I'm trying to say is that sexual assault being a crime is actually pretty revolutionary. Like, it's a new thing. It's only been in the past 50, 60 years that women even had rights to their body, essentially. And it's only because of people like Ann Burgess that that's happened. Do you know that when she went to work for the FBI, they treated her like shit? Those men sexually harassed her, berated her. Back then, society had the idea that women were to blame for the rape, and women, it was something they said. They were out too late. Their skirt was too short. They shouldn't have been drinking in a pub, even though they were 35 years old. That's how they looked at it then. And so Anne went to work for the FBI, and she actually went in with the intention of training all of these people to understand rape, incest, molestation, the criminal intent behind it, and the way that these types of perpetrators operate. Not only that, it goes deeper. She was also a profiler of these high cases, like high profile cases. We're talking people like Richard Ramirez, Jeffrey Dahmer. There's a reason that those people operate the way they do, and a method and an MO, and people like Anne is able to pick up on profiling them. She knows she can. That woman got more intuition than everybody in society combined. She's intuitive. She knows how to read people. She understands how people and why people operate the way that they do. She's brilliant. Love her. Love her. So Miss Ann Burgess, is she still alive? I think she is, yeah. There's an interview from June with her on YouTube. She's pretty badass, man. They put her in the basement in a freaking storeroom. I believe it. Hey, bootlickers, no bootlickers allowed. Let's see what they got on Wiki, because, I just know a portion of her entire career. She changed the way that she started to change the way that society viewed these types of crimes towards women, and the way that society viewed women, How brave of her to go work with a bunch of men who she knew was not respecting her at all. What is this? I hear knocking. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. Y'all, I'm so lazy. She goes on a live stream every week with Chris. I ain't even gonna embarrass myself this morning with that one. Chris McD. Probably. That would be the icing on the top, on the cake. So let's see here. She was born in 1936. She is a American researcher and psychiatric clinical nurse specialist. And she's worked with focused with victims of trauma and abuse. She was a professor. Got a master's, got a doctorate from Boston. Do you understand how badass that was for her at the time? Like, she was killing it. Top of her class. No. And as a woman, too, in the that would have been the 50s she went to school. And this woman died in 1984. Yeah, this woman's been gone, so it must be old stuff that they replay. So it says here, as a young woman, the only career choices for women at the time were to become a nurse, a secretary, or a teacher. She eventually got her nursing degree from Boston University, and then she received a bachelor's of science from Boston University and a master's of science from the University of Maryland, and then a doctor of nursing science from Boston University. She was killing it. It gets no better than that, you know? Sorry, y'all. Why does this say, oh, that must have been when the picture was taken, 1984. There's a picture. There's a picture? That must have been when the picture was taken. Why they? Because it has her birth date underneath, 1936. So, never mind. I thought she passed away in 84. I thought so too. I thought I'd seen her because I'd looked her up. Hey, Angie. Lacey, get up. Good morning. Yeah, I saw her. And I was like, that's weird. I thought that was her death date. Y'all, why they do it like that? It's when the picture was taken. So, what was so revolutionary at the time, what I was getting at, she pioneered. She pioneered assessing and treating trauma and rape victims, which was revolutionary at the time, because at the time, most often than not, if you were unwed and had a child, they sent your ass somewhere, you know? Yeah, it was a different time. So if you were raped, let's say you were raped and you got pregnant, they were going to send you somewhere and it would never be spoke of. Your rape would be swept under the rug. And it was like that back then. And matter of fact, back then they would, families would cover up for the abuser instead of implode the entire family unit, you know? Sometimes I've even heard of cases of children who came from an incestuous family situation, and the child was taken by the government and sent to a foster home instead of the offender being arrested for the crime. So that, the fact that she came at this from a empathetic compassion was what was so revolutionary, because typically they would cover these crimes up. They would not be spoken of. If there was a child involved, the child and the woman would be sent off somewhere, never to be spoken of again, and put all of this stuff front and center, and that's what was so revolutionary. Is she said, we have got to talk about this problem. The women are the victims of these crimes, and they're constantly re-victimized by the system because of everybody else's poor ability to stay strong and control their urges. She got it. And we would not be where we are today if it wasn't for her. Society started to view these things differently because she started to give seminars. She started to train the FBI. And because of that, because of the 30, 40, 50 years of work she did, that's what got us here. I did not know this, and I'm so happy to find out about her. She's phenomenal. It's absolutely wild. Why is this not taught in school? I never, they used to have that. Remember oh God, like the Women's Month or whatever, and it'd have like Amelia Earhart and Anne Frank and maybe Harriet Tubman and, all these great women of history. I'm sorry, but this would have impressed me more than anything, even as a teenager. Absolutely. This is amazing. Not only was she killing it in school, getting up all these, this education. She's also a professor. She's, training the FBI. But she was also raising a family. And I think that she made tons of sacrifices. And I've heard her talk about her time away, and I think she has a little bit of regret for that. It's got to be hard because she was everywhere all at once back in the 70s and 60s. So let's see here. So she pioneered assessing and treating trauma and rape victims. She co-founded one of the first hospital-based crisis counseling programs in Boston City Hospital. She also conducted extensive research regarding the 1960s rape victims in Boston. No, she didn't just do research, honey. They wouldn't even have got that guy if it wasn't for her. The masked guy, hold up, hold a minute, hold that thought. They wouldn't even, let me tell you something. So there was all these white women getting, so let me tell you about this. So it was very similar to the Boston, what was the Golden State Killer? You know how Robert or D'Angelo would sneak in these houses? Wasn't he the one that would like put plates on people's backs and then he would tie up the husband and then sexually assault the wife? Wasn't that him? Anyways, this guy in Louisiana, I think they called him the ski mask rapist. He was going around terrorizing all of these well-to-do, let me get my facts right, because I watch so much stuff. Sometimes these cases mesh together, and that's why I be having my facts wrong, because I watched like 6 things last night. Let me see here. Louisiana, it was the ski mask. They wouldn't even have found him if it wasn't for her. She did more than they're giving her credit for in this wiki page. I'll tell you that, because, let's see. I want to know the story and have my facts right. Does anybody know? So she wrote her expertise in the victimology aided in the FBI's behavioral science unit for 1970s and 1980s. She is essentially the one that wrote policy and procedure on how to handle these types of crimes. Wild. Leave it to a woman. I mean, in my opinion, when it comes to, I think it's fitting. You know? So let's see here. Yeah, that creepy man. Y'all, I can't wait. So he was John B. Simonis. He actually admitted. So she helped hunt Henry Louis Wallace and other people too. The Lonely Hearts Killer. So anyways, I can't find it. So she didn't only just, you know, she actually profiled these people in order to get a profile on them and try to catch them. Brilliant. Hold on one second. So she interviewed victims and was trying to quantify their experiences. This caught the attention of the FBI. She began to consult with the FBI and the behavioral science unit to develop modern psychological profiling for serial killers. She is like one of the pioneers of even profiling. It's crazy. And y'all know how much I love profiling. We do that all the time over here. She also has several books, of course. Why wouldn't she? What a brilliant mind. I wonder what her damn IQ is. What is Ann Burgess's IQ? I love her. Oh, they don't have one for her. What is going on? Just ignore these losers, y'all. What is going on? Wow. Sorry, you guys. See, ain't that crazy? People will buy a membership to my channel just to control my channel. Ain't that crazy? I'm really wanting chocolate cake. I got cake mix, sugar free. Yeah, it was the Louisiana ski mask rapist. He confessed to over 80 rapes across 12 states. I wonder what that time span was. Like how many years that was. I'll bake you one. I know. I need to just do it. Hello, Frederick. Good morning, afternoon. I'm gonna eat a sandwich first, and then I'll bake a cake. Because if I bake a cake, then I'm gonna eat half of it. I'll eat nothing but cake. I gotta eat a sandwich before I can have cake. That's what it was. Opal Horton. Burgess was called to interview an 8-year-old Opal Horton in Illinois. Horton was riding a bike with her friend Melissa when a man attempted to abduct them. Horton was able to escape, but Melissa was brought into the man's car and had not been found. It was imperative they got as much information from Horton as possible. During the interview, Burge asked Horton to make drawings of the incident, hoping it would be easier for the child to communicate. The child drew the crime scene and what she was feeling during the time. Police used Horton's description and the sketch of the car that was used during the abduction to arrest Brian Duggan. That was the case with the little girls that went missing. She also worked on the Mendez brothers case. Hold on, I'm reading about her assessment on the Mendez brothers. She interviewed them for over 50 hours. The defense actually called her onto the case for the Mendez brothers to prove that they wanted her psychological assessment of them to prove in court that this was not money motivated. So let's see what she said. Oh, this is when it was discovered that Eric was Eric was molested. You want to hear what's crazy? You know how I'm always saying the first thing out of a person's mouth is what's on their mind? She was able to get victims of crimes to start drawing on paper. That's how she would get these people to open up. She did this with Eric Mendez when she interviewed him. She asked Eric to draw him and his father. And as it just so happens, Eric would draw pictures of him and his father in his father's bedroom or in a bedroom. And she thought that that was a weird place for a grown man to be drawing him and his father. And that is because the one thing that would have been on Eric's mind is the molestation. That's Just like when people, when they open their mouth, the first thing out of their mouth, what is on their mind. I guess it's the same way when they take crayons or pen to paper and start doing drawings. The Opal case was very similar. She got Opal to open up and start speaking after Opal started drawing. She actually said, Opal, can you draw me the weather? Or no, she says, can you draw me your favorite weather? And so Opal picks up a crayon. Listen to this. This is even creepier. So Opal was the little girl whose friend Melissa was kidnapped. Both of them were kidnapped, and Opal, survivors' guilt. I mean, you could see it all over the child. Opal drew Melissa's name with raindrops all down Melissa's name. So freaking eerie. So there's something about those, like getting a person to draw that somehow they show you their inner, what's on their mind and their deepest thoughts. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's what I say. People tell you on their mind if you just listen. They're telling you whatever they're talking about is the most important thing. She also gave assistance with Bill Cosby back in 2005. I guess when his rape cases or sexual assault cases were taking place. She's worked on a lot of cases. Overall, Burgess was integrity. She was integrity. She's so important. In the development and expansion of the FBI's behavioral science unit. And some of the books that she wrote are books that are utilized by law enforcement today. You know what's crazy is I thought it took like decades or centuries to get to where we are with like women's rights and stuff. It ain't even been a century, homie. It ain't even been 100 years. We just got started in the 60s. And guess what? Technology, it's created a whole new like tree that has all these branches of new sex crimes. So exciting. I really thought that it took decades, if not centuries, to get where we are, and it really hasn't. It hasn't even been 100 years. It's kind of scary, but it really goes to show there's a lot of work that needs to be done. She is brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to listen to everything she's ever wrote. She's my new favorite. Well, listen, I got a favorite man and a favorite woman. She's my new favorite woman. Jordan Peterson is he's still boss. He still is. So he's helped me more than any other person. He really has. I wouldn't even be, like, seriously, like, I know I'm not doing well, but like, I wouldn't even be halfway here if it wasn't for Jordan. He really saved my life in a dark time. He really did. He's such a good person. Oh, man. So is the world on fire today? What's going on? Is it raining out there for you? It's raining out here for me. White walls hurt your eyes. Why? Remind you of the mental asylum you escaped from. I'm joking. I'm not trying to be mean. That was a joke because I've had too much coffee. You're sweet, beautiful soul. Who said that? K-Bird. Okay. I didn't see whose name it was, so Oh, Lord. Now that you mention it, it kind of reminds me of my stray jacket, so, I get it. Yeah, I did that myself. I did that. Let's see. Y'all. Have y'all noticed groceries going up? Has anybody noticed that shit's been going up? I just bought bread, and it was $10 for 2 loaves of bread. And it ain't even a full loaf of bread. It's a half a loaf of bread. It's like 3/4 a loaf of bread, if I'm being honest. Arnold's. That rye. Then that damn Jewish rye. That shit's so good. I literally would so first of all, I just started eating that like 3 weeks ago. It's delicious. I need to buy stock in it because I know it's the only bread I'm ever going to eat. It's called Arnold's Jewish Rye Seeded. Most breads like make my stomach hurt. Like, it'll cause me problems. That's the only bread I've ever had that doesn't make my stomach feel weird and like doesn't, I don't know. So good. Hey, John, how are y'all doing today? Yeah, I need to buy stock in rye bread. That's the only way I'm going to be able to afford it. I better make an investment now on my future of rye. Otherwise, I'm going to have white bread sandwiches for the rest of my life. Born on white bread sandwiches. I need some rye. Man, that rye is so good. If you've never tried seeded rye, I think they call it like Jewish seeded rye. You got to get it. You got it. Good. That's right. Y'all, I need to get like that sewing thing out the yard, but yeah, I'm glad I got it out of here. It smells better in here. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to stay positive, okay? Trying to stay positive. If I can just not freeze this winter, you know, we'll be back out to the streets come maybe February, March. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear. Damn, this thing smells so good. I had a desk in here, but you think if I could get that sewing machine out, I don't know. I don't know if there's like, I don't see, the thing is I didn't see any mildew on the wood. Did you notice that? It's like the sewing machine. I ain't got no table, fam. What if I put my bed over here and I like my bed over there. I like my bed over there. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This chair is still damp, y'all. Damn it. It ain't bad, and it could just be cold. No, it's so damp. I washed that pillow. That's definitely duck feathers. I do believe. I'm like 50% sure. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I need to figure out if I want to move my bed over here. If I move my bed over here, I'll have that table. Ow, my finger, this damn thing. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, I could move the bed over here. But I gotta move all that stuff over. And I like my bed being over here on this wall with all my hanging baskets. I need to get up there and put that other basket up there. I'm being really lazy today. My face is breaking out. Yup. Oh. I ain't doing nothing today. That basket will have to wait along with everything else. How about that? See, I need a table. We got a rug at home. I saw them prices. I said, I got a rug at home. And I threw it over that spot. It is what it is. It don't really matter. You know? It's no biggie. It's not like I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. Rotisserie chicken sandwich. That sounds so good. I wonder if I could make like that Panera sandwich. That fromage, you remember that? It was like caramelized onions with like that spinach and cheese. And it was like on toasted bread that was like, it was delicious, y'all. I bet you I could remake that. I've got onions. I've got big old Vidalias. I could chop, cut those up because they were like chopped, tiny square chop. Saute them with a little bit of like probably like garlic, a little bit of like brown sugar. I have some seasonings, right? And then I have pepper jack cheese. And what you do is you'd saute those onions. And then I'm trying to think of the best way to like make the cheese sauce with the caramelized onions. I don't know. I'd probably caramelize my onions and then take the pepper jack and put it on top of the pile of onions with the lid on the pan and let it melt, and then take the toasted bread, put it on top, and then flip the onions and the cheese out on the bread, and then add my spinach and some spicy mustard. Oh, and I got chicken. Oh my God, that sounds so good right now. Oh, I got fresh garlic. I got to roast garlic. I'm going to bake a cake. I'll do it at the same time. I'm coming up with a plan, Stan. We gonna eat good, fam. I got sugar-free fudge chocolate cake, and at the same time, I'll bake my sweet potatoes that I picked up, because I got 3 of those for this week. I want to go ahead and pre-bake them so I can just like pull it out the fridge, stick it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then eat it, Cut it open, stuff it with something, I don't know, whatever. And what else was I gonna make? Shit. I just said it. The sandwich, but it was something else I needed to bake in the oven. Oh, I gotta roast the garlic. Where's my phone before I forget? I gotta make a list for everything. And I'll be forgetting the list before I can even get it out on the list. Jesus, tell me your memory's bad. All right, so roast the garlic, bake the cake, sandwich. Oh, I need to bake the sweet potatoes. So I like to do the garlic confit. It's, if you're on a weight loss journey, it's really not that bad. Like even the olive oil and stuff, don't be scared of the healthy fats. What I do is I take the whole clove of garlic, I chop the top off, put some olive oil, okay, let me start over. Get you a piece of foil. Get your garlic clove, cut the half off, the top of it, as least as possible, but you want to make sure that you're getting the tops of the cloves so that the oil can get down in there and bake properly. Pour your oil on top. Put you some seasonings on there if you want to or not. Fold it all up and shove it in the oven. You bake it. And then when it comes out, let it cool down. And then grab the bottom of the clove and squeeze all that garlic out of there. It's so good. It's good on everything. And it makes things taste better too. Like avocado toast or garlic bread. I mean, it's delicious on everything. I've got 2 cloves I'm going to do that with. It won't last me a week. I'll have all that garlic gone by the end of the week. My garlic. I love garlic and ginger. I can eat it right off the damn. I can't see y'all over there. Yeah, I want to do roasted garlic. I got so many potatoes I need to use. I need to figure out some different potato dishes. I'm used to just putting butter, salt, and pepper on them, I need to figure out some new potato dishes. I've never tried shepherd's pie, but heck no fridge and refrigerator in here. Nope. I know, me too. I love garlic. That cake is going to be so good, y'all. It's chocolate fudge with vanilla icing this time. Potato. Oh, let's look up sweet potato. Sweet potato. Sweet potato pie. It's fall. It's fall, y'all. I've never roasted them. Those look yummy. I've never had roasted sweet potatoes, but that does look yummy. That's right up my alley. Yeah, I could roast them. That's it. It's just like, here's a baked one, here's some roasted ones. That's it. Shit, let me find out. I need to cultivate some damn recipes around here. Sweet potato. Let's look up recipe ideas. Seriously, for like the whole thing was just, here's a baked one, here's some roasted ones. There was nothing. It was just bland sweet potatoes. I need some healthy dishes. I do like the way that we did those potatoes a few weeks ago when we stuffed them with like hamburger meat and like taco stuff. Those were really good. Ooh, yeah, what is that? In my belly. Look at this. Oh, what is it called? Potato au gras, or what is it? Look at it. You know the potatoes au gratin, potatoes something. Those are sweet potatoes. But you know the dish that has potatoes like russets, and then you just bake them in the oven with like some cheese. I don't know what it's called, but you can do that with sweet potatoes. Imagine that with sweet potatoes. Imagine that with sweet potatoes. I wonder what it's called. It's like potato. I can't remember. Stop. Yeah, however you say that, I can't say it. I came looking for that. Sweet potato pie. Well, this ain't even nothing. No. Hmm. Yeah, this ain't exciting, y'all.